So I'm going to be recording a voiceover here. I kind of sort of recorded a bunch of video prior to the bulk and the meat of this video, but I accidentally deleted those files and I deleted them all the way past recoverability. So what I am recording right now is a voiceover of a bike project that I've been working on for about the last week. This I've done a small video on, and I actually didn't even really do a video on it. It was thrown in with another video that I did. This is a Cignal Zanzibar. It's either a 1993 or a 1996, kind of sort of like a vintage bike, and it's not really. I guess nowadays you can start calling 1993 and 1996 vintage because it's over 20 years. But so I got this bike used, and I think I paid like $30 or $40 for it. And when I got the bike, it didn't have any tires and it didn't have any pedals on it, or at least it had one pedal. The other one was completely mangled, so I had to replace the pedals on it. I rode the bike for about, I want to say, a handful of times, and it's been a project that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. Is completely take everything off of it, strip the paint down, give it a paint job, put new cables on it, put new shifters, and convert it to a 1x system, which means you get rid of the front derailleur and you just have the rear one. I know a lot of people say you can't really do it on one that's not meant for it. Well, I did it and it works fantastically. And yes, fantastically is a word, but I did it and it has so much torque. Like, if I really try to get on it while I'm sitting down, I can do a wheelie on this thing every single time after I did all the part upgrades and modifications. So yeah, that's kind of what this video is about. So where this is actually going to end up starting up, because I deleted, like I said, a whole bunch of the video, is it jumps right into where I've completely stripped the frame down and I'm about to start painting it. So everything after that point is still in the video. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm not the best YouTuber. I make mistakes. And I deleted videos, so yay. Okay, so what I've done at this point is I've completely stripped the frame down, and what I ended up using was a wire wheel that you put on a regular handheld drill. And I did try to use like a palm sander, a vibrating palm sander, and that did work, but I actually found that the wire wheel to be more effective. And after I had stripped all of the paint down, the stock paint, I sprayed it down with water to get off most of the grime and gunk and dust. And then I went over it with just some regular household cleaner. And then after that, I went over it with rubbing alcohol to get, everything off of it. And right now is where I'm about to start applying primer and painting. So everything after this point will make sense. This is just Rust-Oleum primer. It says fast acting, twice the protection to metal. So I'm going to apply this and get to painting. Good Lord, this primer spray is very different. When I started sanding and taking the paint off of this frame, I was thinking to myself, this is going to turn out like garbage. Well, just so far I can tell by how the primer is being applied, it is coming out way better than I thought it was going to. I guess all the prep work of sanding and doing the wire brush and cleaning it properly actually does make a world of difference. There's something right there. It probably just looks like some debris got caught. But I'm going to let this dry a little bit, flip it over so I can do all the sides that I didn't hit. And there's the fork. So this primer, I have never used this stuff before because I've never taken the time to actually prime something the proper way, because I don't do a lot of projects like this. But anyway, this sprays a lot different than a regular can. It sprays a crap ton more than I'm used to. I wonder if the actual cans that I bought of this is the color that I'm going to go with. It's actually a lot lighter in color than the cap does it justice, but it says 30% greater. Well, that just says corrosion. I think I was mixing this up with another can that said 2x spray, but we'll see how it works out. But yeah, this paint is going on way better than I thought it would. Okay, so it was primed, and I've applied the color. This is why I'm not a great YouTuber, because I forget that I'm supposed to be recording what I'm doing, and I just kind of get carried away with what I'm actually doing. So I've got the fork, and I'm just getting it spray painted here. The actual color takes a little bit longer to dry. It is a little bit glossier than I hoped it was going to be. The can says it's supposed to be satin. I know a satin is supposed, like a, kind of sort of glossy, but this is the clear coat that I got. This is the one that actually had the 2x spray on it, and this is supposed to be a matte clear. I wanted it to have like a matte finish. If it's a little glossy, I guess that's not a huge deal. I'll deal with it. Not a big deal. I mean, I just wanted it to have a different paint job, because once I apply all the parts back on, it'll make sense with the color scheme that I'm going with. Okay, so this has about 2 coats on it, the main frame, and I applied the clear coat to the fork, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but it's just a little bit glossy on the frame, and the clear coat did dull it down just a little bit. The camera's not doing a great job of actually picking it up, but it did dull it down. It gave it quite a good finish. This whole project came out way better than I expected. So I'm gonna let this dry for just a little bit, because it is still a little wet. On the can it says apply the clear coat within an hour, so I think I'm gonna wait about 30 to 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna come and apply the clear coat. Okay, so my bike has been drying for about 3 days now. It should be, fine to touch and start adding all of the parts back to it. So yeah. So what I'm going to start with is the fork, and these are the tiny bearings that go on it, and come on, focus. These, I'm just going to get these cleaned up, use some WD-40, and then put some grease on them and stick them back in. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just using a little bit of WD-40 to clean off the bearings. I'm not going to lubricating with the bearings, I'm just using that to clean it. And for the harder stuff like the rear derailleur, I'm going to use this Lucas parts cleaner and degreaser. This is just to clean it all up. And then once I'm actually done, I'm going to use some marine grease to actually put on the bearings. But I'm just using this wire brush to kind of clean up all the old grease. I don't know what grease they used, but whatever it was, it's gotten crusty. And even though I didn't really notice the steering being bad or not turning like it was supposed to, this should actually help with it move a lot more freely. But it's really gunked up on there. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but yeah, it's pretty gunked up. I've got a couple of things just temporarily assembled here because I'm just testing some stuff out and seeing what screws that I need to end up purchasing. For the rear brakes, I still have the old cantilever brakes, but I'm probably going to change it out and put V brakes on here. I've got some coming via Amazon, and I was just kind of messing around with the rear derailleur and the chain and making sure that this 1x setup with the oval was going to work. And I'm pretty sure it's going to. I don't think I'm going to have any real issues. I just need to clean all of this stuff up and get it all cleaned up so I can actually get it all back together. Now, the next thing that I'm probably going to end up doing is cleaning up all the tires and wheels in the hub area and the rear cassette, and then I'm going to start putting the wires. Well, I might do the wires last, I'm not sure. Okay, so I got all my parts, nuts and bolts laid out here. This is just for the brake system. I've got some new ones coming tomorrow. May not, if those don't end up working out, I basically just cleaned all this up with a wire wheel. So I got the brakes cleaned off. I've got the blue brake pads that I'm going to put on there. I've got new nuts for the brake, holding the brake pad on. They're the wider flanged ones, because these are the ones that they had, and I noticed they were coming loose fairly often. And I've got these are some new bolts I bought for the cable, holding the cable on for the cantilever. And then these are new mounting posts for the brake system. So I'm going to end up using these regardless if I use those new brakes or not. Just some extra washers in case I need it. So yeah, I just gotta wait. And then I've got my rear derailleur there. I cleaned it off a little bit with some of this parts brake cleaner. It's just something I'm trying out, and I've got it right now. I'm just kind of soaking it with some WD-40 just to help break up some of this buildup that's on there. That's usually what I do to clean my stuff. I actually use WD-40 to clean a lot of things. I don't use WD-40 to lubricate stuff. I use actual like chain lube or grease in those applications. So yeah, I'm going to call it a night for tonight, and then tomorrow I will pick back up. I'm gonna try not to smack the table as much as I can. Got my new brake set in. These are the V brakes. I got these on Amazon. So these are the old ones, like I said. These are the cantilever style brakes. I did clean these up just in case these wouldn't work. I got new nuts and bolts for them in case I did need to use them, which I think I've already said in the video, but I'm going to move those to the side. Those are the old cantilever style that use this style of brake. You have your basically you'd have your two brake pads on each side, and then when you pull this this V cable pulls upwards, and when you pull it upward, it squeezes these two together to actually engage and brake the wheel. That style, I mean, it's okay. If you have a really good cantilever system, it will stop the bike. That's not really an issue. But I got these on Amazon. I'm gonna unbox these here. These are a brand called CNC. Here's the hardware for them. They've got the cable U, and the boots. I forgot what these are called. So yeah, the spring boots. These are actually, wow, these are not cheap. These aren't like your store-bought ones. Here's the brake system themselves. Let's get some of these out here. Come on. Of course, I'm going to be replacing the brake pad with these blue ones here, and yeah, these look pretty stout. Okay, it's got the adjustment screw for how how much spring you want. So there's one side. Here's the other one. Yeah, there's not much to it. I'm going to replace the brake pads. So I think what I'm going to do first is, so I'm going to start cleaning up the wheels because I haven't done that yet. And then I'm going to get the wheels mounted so I can start putting the chain on. And then once I get the chain on, I'll put the brakes back on. And then after that, I'll start doing the actual cable system.
Horrendous that something gets posted there, and it's just like, that's the world we're building, and that's very, very frightening.
Yeah, if they're going to lose out anywhere, I think there's a very long-term thing where their user base tends to be older.
So I got the rear derailleur cleaned off here. Actually turned out pretty good. I just kind of used the brush wheel to brush off some of the imperfections, just to give it a nice shiny-ish look. So I'm going, and you know, this, I don't know the exact date of when the bike frame was made. I don't know if it was 1993 or 1996. Either way, this derailleur is from that time period. I make it sound like it was so long ago, but the springs on this thing are still super strong. This is a Shimano STX. I don't know the exact model number. I just know it's STX because the sticker that was on it came off. It might be on here somewhere, actually. It is RDMC32. I'll have to look that up. So yeah, it was a RDMC32. It was just a Shimano STX. I'm looking it up on my phone right now. Apparently, it says that it can support up to 9 gears. So if I ever wanted to switch to a 9-gear rear cassette, I could. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only because of the new chips, but also because this is the final erasure of the blight upon the MacBook line known as the 2016 MacBook Pro refresh, where this is the dongles to make the damn thing work.
We should point out, you are functioning on rumor. We don't know anything about
exactly.
This.
Right. Right.
But the rumor is it will have the Alex was right MagSafe adapter. So it just really would tie it to my Mac. And also it works on the Mac too, right? Does it work on the Mac?
It will with Monterey.
Okay, for whatever app you want to use. And Hover never upsells you on anything you don't need. Pro level tools, if you already know how DNS works and you want to, I do all the time.
So I'm starting to install the cables here. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my tripod on my camera. I've got it just temporarily mounted. I didn't tighten it down real tight. So I've got the Shimano cable. Of course, it has these outer mounting posts. And the old bike came with or not the old bike. This is the old bike, but the old cables had this protector that just went around the exposed cable in between these braces right here. So I'm going to install that and then get the bottom derailleur cable all mounted and get it going. Okay, I've got the brakes installed. You can see I still got to do some fine adjustments, but I've actually added the ferrules for the outer cable, and I actually put heat shrink around those. It's the kind of heat shrink that has this sealant on the inside, or it's like some sort of glue. I put some there, and I put the fray cap with some heat shrink on there, and then I drilled a small hole, or not a small hole, but I made this routing area just a little bit bigger on this side so I could route the brake cable. And then on the front, same thing. I got the brake cable, or the brakes installed. Did the same thing. Got some heat shrink on there. I've got just this is just a regular brake, and then that's the brake gear shift combo. The Shimano, actually I forgot what model this is. I showed it. STEF 500 for 7-speed. Yeah, 7-speed. I don't know if this one actually has like some sort of SIS. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I got all of that installed. Now I got to clean up my pedals and get the pedals installed, and then I gotta put the handlebars on, which I have the EIS. Oh, I need to learn how to put this on auto exposure. I've got the EIS handlebars or handle grips. They're just this blue silicone. I'm gonna put those on there, and then I'm putting on the Zoom outer handlebars that already were on it. I'm eventually probably going to strip these down and repaint them, but just because of time, I'm just gonna put them on right now. And I think that's pretty much. Oh, and then I've got the gold water bottle holder. So, oh, and then I've got a phone holder as well. I'm gonna put this somewhere along there. Anyway, yes, I've got all of that ready, and I'm gonna get it all cleaned up, polished. And it rained all day today, so it was good because I could really take my time with routing all of the cables and making sure everything was properly installed. And then I am going to, hopefully tomorrow, if it's not raining, do some B-roll and just you know, kind of drive it around and make sure it's all working. Okay, my bike is now completely done. So if I haven't stated before, this is a 1993 or 1996 Cignal Zanzibar frame, and it's the same wheels as well. I don't know if it's 93 or 96 because the bottom serial was, part of it was scratched off from just use, so I don't exactly know which one of those years, but it's 93 or 96. And I can't find very much information about this bike online, so I've got the rear brakes installed. They're the CNC brakes, V brakes. It's a Cloud 9 seat. I actually bought this when I bought the bike previously, before I started doing the restore on it. That's just the basic rear cassette or freewheel hub. It's a 7-speed. The Shimano derailleur, it's the STX. I've got a oval chainring, and this is a JG bike chainring, and this is a Knopper crankset. This is Crank Brothers pedals. The front, of course, the frame is the Cignal Zanzibar frame. I've got the Zoom handlebar extensions. These are ESI grips. These are the extra cushy ones. This is the Shimano brake system, the ST brake system, shift and brake system, because I'm only using the rear. Taysor stem and Taysor handlebar. This is 780mm handlebar. And then this is just some cheap brake handle I got for the front brakes off of Amazon. And then the front brakes there. Top cabin water bottle holder.